Hey there friends, I'm April and today we're going to continue with radical equations, but it's going to be a little bit harder. I picked this first problem because some people forget about the whole plus and minus thing when you're square rooting. Here you have x squared equals 25, and if you are thinking about numbers, you're like, oh, that's totally 5. But don't forget, you want to square root both sides first. So let's just do that. Square rooting this. So you can do the same thing. Before we were just squaring a square root. Now we're square rooting a square. So that's totally fine. It works the same way. When you square root a square, just like when you square a square root, it breaks down what's inside, right? So square root of x squared becomes x. Done, x. What's square root of 25? Yes, it is 5. It is also negative 5. Why is that? Because negative 5, when you square it, negative 5 times negative 5, right? Don't forget. Also makes 25. So x is actually equal to plus or minus 5. Don't forget, you'll get points off on your quiz. This one is a little bit harder than what we did earlier because you have some numbers on the inside and the outside of the radical. What I like to do with these is I always like to put a little bite, on the end of my radical symbol, just so I'm really sure who's inside that symbol and who's not. Okay, so before I deal with any of this stuff in the radical, I want to deal with everybody who's not in the radical. I don't want to be doing stuff to both sides when like not everybody's in the same car. And by car, I mean the radical sign. So negative 4 to both sides. I still have my square root equal of x plus 3. And now 8 minus 4 is 4. So that is 4. Now I can square both sides because I have a whole side that's under the radical. And it's not like mixed types of terms. Okay, and 4 squared. So this comes to be, I'll just continue over here. I squared a square root, so everything inside is all by itself. X plus 3 equals, what is 4 squared? 4 times 4 is 16. More algebra to do. Minus 3 on both sides. X equals 13. Done. Oh yeah, this is done. Last one. These kind confuses some people. You have square root of 20 minus x equals x. And it's a little bit harder than it looks because one of the x's is under the radical and one of them is not. And you're like, oh no, I have 2 different kinds of x's. I'm going to add my little bite here because I just really like to be sure who's under the radical. And I have like a total side under the radical, so I can go ahead and do my normal thing, which is square both sides. And then when you square a square root, everything underneath pops out. So 20 minus x equals still just regular x squared. What does this look like? It looks like a quadratic equation. So we're just going to throw everything on one side and set it equal to 0 because I'll just do it and then you'll remember. We're going to go plus x minus 20. Same thing on this side. So I got rid of everything on this side, so I'm like 0 equals x squared plus x minus 20. This is a quadratic equation. This is the thing where you can factor it. You can be like, oh, it's, I don't know, x plus 5 and x minus 4. Or you can use the quadratic equation, or you could graph it, or you could do like a million different ways of, but that's a different unit. Basically, you've got down to a quadratic equation, and now you can figure out that x is negative 5 and x is 4. So anyway, the point is, don't be scared of this. It just turns itself into a quadratic equation, so that, and then you solve it like that. That's it. Let me know if there are other types of problems that you need to see, because this is kind of like a appetizer sampler of different things you might see on your quiz. Good luck on your quiz. Bye.